but large amount of Broodlords now. Broodlords did get revealed, so he is going to have to build something against that. And yeah, here come the Void Rays, because Void Rays fly, so Void Rays cannot be attacked by Broodlords. However, the Broodlords, or the Void Rays can attack the Broodlords, so that's a big advantage there. We still have the Mothership alive, obviously, because he's not going to risk that in the battle. And he just recalled his entire army, keeping most of them alive. But wow, look at this. The Broodlords just taking out cannons like it's nobody's business. And yeah, just making sure that those cannons are no longer a problem. And revealing this entire, or well, opening up this entire base to attack. And here we go, we get some nice splash damage on here. And with no reveal except for the fungal growth, it is going to be pretty hard to defend against this, or well, to go up against this, because well, the fungal growth are worn off, and yeah, there you go, no more detection. So he's going to have to back off a little bit though, the Protoss player, because he doesn't want to open up his base to a new attack. And obviously, well, with all of these Broodlords over here, it is going to be very painful if they attack, because they can one-shot virtually any units. It seems that my computer really doesn't want this match to continue, but I do! So shut up, computer! Just do what you're told. Anyway, it seems that the Broodlords are happily chilling in their own part, and with all of these spine crawlers coming up. Spine crawlers, of course, only cost minerals, and as you can see, they have plenty of minerals. Well, the Protoss player has plenty of everything, because he is maxed out and pretty much has nothing to do anymore, except to just attack with his entire army. And here we go with the entire army, getting rid of this base. This is the only mining base that's really fully operational, and yeah, therefore he wants to take that out. And this one obviously still has, well, quite a bit of mining, but well, not the entire base. And wow, going to mass recall once again. Nicely done. Just poking some guerrilla attack style, and then getting back out of there. The Broodlords are of course really slow, so they can't really defend against this at all. Going to replenish his army, and now has plenty of stalkers available for this next attack. And we have 22 warp gates going up. So he can make 22 stalkers at the same time, and he's never going to lose that many, but if he does, then he can make his entire army again instantly. And of course, well, the corruptors are going to take out the entire well, backline. But look at this, the new the stalkers coming in, they're going to blink forward, they're going to take out all of these units, because the only thing that's really well, attacking them are the spine crawlers. And spine crawlers are not that good, because, well, spine crawlers do 30 damage, and that means that, well, with 160 HP, they're going to stay alive for a lot of shots. And, well, because of that, it is not going to be too much of a problem. Of course, both of them now had to use quite a lot of their resources to actually, well, get out of that fight. And well, as you can see, the Protoss player in a little bit of trouble, because he is losing his bases, or his workers. Currently we are at, wow, 46 workers lost already versus 14. With 46 workers lost, that is well, quite a lot, but he still has plenty available in his bases that are already mined out, and they still have some units available. As you can see, the Zerg player just coming in, doing exactly the same style attack, but he doesn't have a fast recall, so he's going to have to walk out. But there is no big army anymore for the Protoss player. The big army for the Protoss player already got taken out, and I wonder where the new army is, because he really can't afford anything anymore. And I think he just lost it right here. There are some Archons morphing in. Archons cost a lot of gas, but no minerals, so, well, that's why he's building those. And really just going to lose a whole lot of his production facilities. if the Zerg player keeps this up, but it seems that the Zerg player is more interested in finding the units that he just produced. And wow, if only he could substitute these photon cannons for actual units again, he would have had a big army again. But yeah, obviously you cannot. You can only sell bunkers. That is the only building you can sell. So as you can see, yeah, the Zergling is going to take out some buildings, but well, there aren't any flying units coming in at any point because he just doesn't have the minerals required to do so, or the gas at this point. But yeah, some units now out. Here we go. This is the army. It is going to be a small army for the Protoss player. That is relatively small, of course, because well, it is still 150 worth of everything. Yeah, we're going to have to see how these Archons do, because Archons are really good against single targets, and they have a little bit of splash still, I guess. I'm not actually sure if they reinstated the splash on that. It doesn't say. No, well, whatever. But yeah, we're going to see if with the mothership in tow he can actually make it work. Because this is, well, an equal army, I guess, but all big units. So it's going to be up to both of them to pick off the big units and try to make that work for them. But, well, the mothership now, well, has enough energy to do the recall or the vortex, but not both. So he's going to have to make a choice. And his choice is to use the recall. And, well, that's why he sends it back to base. Obviously, you can do 2 vortexes at the same time, kind of grabbing the entire ground army, for example, and taking out the flying army, and then doing the same thing afterwards, because then the flying army will be dead, and only the ground army will be remaining. The mass recall, yeah, he lost quite a few units there. And I don't think that was the right choice. I think he should have opted for the vortex, because, well, unit-wise, we still have 11 of these broodlords available. 15 roaches, yeah, they don't really matter too much, because they can get taken out. 8 infestors, that is becoming a problem, but he only has 16 stalkers and 7 archons, whereas well, as I said, this is just a way bigger army. The 13 Zerglings and 15 Roaches really don't matter, but 11 Broodlords, 8 Infestors, that is going to matter. And is he actually... No, he's not grouping up his Queens yet. Apparently not done yet. So, yeah, the Zerg player still has some minerals coming in. The Protoss player is pretty much mining at full capacity here. And we're going to have to see if this gets disrupted, because he has only 1 mining base. But his entire army is over here. So with his army over here and his mining over here, yeah, there's a little bit of a gap between those two. So we'll have to see if the Zerg player actually comes in to just, yeah, try to take out this base, because he knows that there's only one thing to do. And are these? No, these are not mined out, but yeah, this one is. This has 172 remaining, but I don't think that he will go for that at any point. So yeah, at some point this map is going to be mined out, guys. So we're going to have to see when that is. Apparently the Zerg player is waiting for something. Probably is waiting for his next batch of units, because he wants to have a full army or something like that. There's, however, a drop incoming. And this time it is Zerglings, I think. Yep, all Zerglings, all the time. And, well, these roaches are just going to poke. This is not going to do anything. Oh, he's going over here. Well, this might do something, but no. No, just running straight past it. I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's just trying to distract for his link drop that's coming in. Because the Zerglings are actually going to do quite well if they get dropped in time, but it seems that the Overlords are going to get taken out. Oh, the Overlord's starting to drop, but all of the Zerglings, yeah, almost die instantly. And, well, we have a much bigger fight over here, losing quite a few units. And, of course, well, here, this really doesn't matter at all. The Void Ray over here just going to poke at whatever comes by, and yeah, not really doing that much damage. They're going to regenerate underground, and is there still yeah, there is still one observer around. Two observers. Two observers flying right beneath behind each other. And yeah, these roaches are going to just walk out of there, and these are still burrowed. You should be able to find these, but apparently not so much. So yeah, as I said, the roaches really don't matter, so the fact that he sacrificed a few of them, pff, who cares? Yeah, the Zerg player is just grouping up his entire army. So many Brood Lords still available, 14 of them. But he is still not done. He is still farming as much as he can. He's getting all of these minerals. And once that's done and he has all of the units that he wants or he can get, I guess he's going to move forward and try to get this done. But at this point, this is the only base that is still mining, that still has something. Where is this Dark Templar? Is that just in the middle of his army, or is it actually in the middle of a base somewhere? No, no, no. This one is actually, yeah, it still has some minerals left. But as you can see, yeah, that's not a whole lot, so that's not really going to matter. But both players seem to be very cautious, because they know that if they lose a fight now, then they're done. And the Protoss player has lost quite a few fights already. So yeah, the Zerg player lost all of the fights in the beginning, whereas the Protoss player lost everything in the mid game. And once again with the mass recall instantly, but yeah, he's going to lose some units. Just, yeah, right there. And yeah, that's because of all of these Brood Lords. The Brood Lords not really... Yeah, there's no counter to them, at least not in the current army of the Protoss player. So I'm going to have to call this for the Zerg player once again. We are, however, over here doing some damage. Okay, that should work, and hopefully it will stay at a reasonable FPS. But yeah, it seems that it really didn't want to make a bigger file or something like that. I don't really know. I don't really know what happens there, and since the people from Fraps can't answer me, yeah, it seems to have something to do with the engine that is behind these kind of games. Okay, we are going to try again. Hopefully this time it will actually work. It seems that we are already dropping again. Holy crap. Come on! Anyway, we're going to try to... Oh, no, 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 no. He recalled once again. Really has no way to deal with these Brood Lords. And the only thing is, when is the Brood Lord army finally going to attack these bases? Because as soon as he can defeat this one base that's still mining, I think the Protoss player will just give up. Really nothing else to do here, because, well, I don't think that the Protoss player can actually win, and the Zerg player can pretty much win whenever he wants to. Yeah, he has a much stronger army. The only thing is that he might be scared of something. But yeah, here comes the attack finally coming in, and yeah, can he actually defend this army? That is the only question that remains. But I don't think that is a very big question, because, well, he doesn't really need to defend this army, because it can just poke down these cannons and then, well, just run away. Here comes the rest of the army though. He overextended a little bit here, but is going to chase off the army pretty nicely. The fungal growth is actually in range, which means that this might actually just work out for the Zerg player, even though he overextended with his entire group of Brood Lords. And yeah, this is going to be the last fight, because the Protoss player is going to lose this magnificently, and at that point it is going to be GG. So let's see. The Zergling army is coming around the back, by the way. It is coming up over here. Where did it go? Oh no, those were roaches. Okay, well, with Zerglings. Thought they were too fast for roaches, but yeah, it seems that all of the cannons at least got taken out. Now all he needs to do is just poke down this nexus. It was already done apparently. There were enough of these broodlings there to actually make that work. So yeah, quite a few broodlords actually survived. 11 of them still alive, and they are going to regenerate. So yeah, well, with the queens there, a lot more would have survived, because the queens can actually, well, of course, transfuse. And with the transfuse you can keep them alive for a pretty long time. The Dark Templar over here, so it is there to just hold this this position. There's no Overseer out, by the way. But I don't think that... Yeah, I don't think that the Protoss player can do anything anymore. I mean, he is not GGing for some reason. He knows how big the army is that he's facing, but he doesn't have anything yet anymore. He doesn't have a nexus anymore, or, well, the minerals required to build that nexus. So he's going to long distance mine for a little bit. And look at this, just an entire line that's probably good enough to pick off this this army. And yeah, just enough to hide behind. But I don't think that the Protoss player can even get through this this line of defense, because with so many spine crawlers, yeah, he's not going to be able to destroy that and live. Of course, he still has long range units, but yeah. These are equally long range, only, well, they can shoot at the ground, whereas the ground units cannot shoot air. So a little bit of poke going off over there. He didn't really lose anything. But man, this is, it's a stalemate. It's already done, to be honest. I would be very, very surprised if the Zerg player gives this away. Because at this point, yeah, that would be just giving the game to your opponent. It has nothing to do anymore with well, with what plays are made. I think this is just plain done. So he's going to send in a few drones to see where the army is or something like that, because he didn't really need to free up supply or anything, but he has nothing better to do with them, because, well, this is the only bit of minerals that he can still mine, and here are 3 patches that he can mine, but that's about it. There's nothing else to do. As you can see, all mined out. The base is dead, and these are all mined out, with the base being dead. And here comes the next attack. 2 Overseers coming in here, and they're going to spot that there's nothing there. And yeah, here come the units though. And they're going to take out 2 buildings. Yes, they are going to take out 2 buildings and retreat. And this is all he needs to do. He can now come in from here, take down this this assimilator, and do the same thing. Because, well, the only minerals, and, well, that's the only minerals there are. Yeah. So now just build a full army as a Protoss and just hope that something, well, something miraculous happens, because really there is no way this is going to work for him. If it was a Protoss, or if it was a Terran player, it might still work, because he could float one of the buildings into, like, over here, and there would be nothing that the Zerg player can do about it. But because he doesn't have any what are they called, corruptors anymore. So with 0 corruptors, he wouldn't be able to get that building. But yeah, at this point, yeah, well, there's nowhere to hide anymore. I guess the Zerg player is just going to, well, pick off buildings one at a time. And the Protoss player is going to attempt exactly the same thing. The Overseers can see this army, and yeah, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, because this can actually take quite a while still. And I'm just wondering how the Zerg player is going to handle this, because it is really not an easy thing to do. Finally we get the vortex, And now he needs to move in because he needs to do something about this army. Okay, he split the army in two. It's a ground army and, well, an air army. The ground army is going to be safe for now, it seems. However, he did quite a lot of damage to it. And is he actually going to be able to pick up this air army, though? Because the air army is the one that's causing all the trouble. Oh, actually going to be able to do it! Oh my god! He actually made that work! Wow. Yeah, the Vortex is really, really strong. And I guess with the range that he has on his Colossi, it is, yeah, it's done. Wow. I called that completely wrong. I really thought he had no chance anymore. But apparently the Vortex is really that strong. The Protoss player, yeah, he got the chance there to split the army in two and really caught everyone in those vortexes. The first army, yeah, he couldn't really control that, well, how many went in there. But then he used his second one on the Brute Lords, and the Brute Lords were the problem. So he got to take out the first army. So the ground army with his army, and then the air army popped back up with almost no ground army remaining, and yeah, he could just make it work. Oh my god, I did not expect that. Wow, very nicely played. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.